Hey everybody, I'm Pastor Nick McRae and you're watching Helpful Hebrew, where we learn a new Hebrew word every day. Over the past week or so, we've been learning the Shema, the great statement of faith of the people of Israel, which is found in Deuteronomy chapter 6. And so far what we've learned is this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord alone. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. And so today's word is Meod, which means might or strength. An interesting thing about the word Meod, a couple of times in the Hebrew Bible, it's used like it is here, sort of like a noun to mean strength or might or power. But usually, almost always in the Hebrew Bible, the word Meod is a modifier to mean something like very, to modify something. So an interesting side note about the word very. You know, when we say very, we just mean kind of like a lot of something or something kind of to intensify something. But the word actually comes from the Latin root veritas, which means truth. And so, for instance, you might see of older versions of the Nicene Creed in churches where it says that Jesus Christ was very God and very man. Now, it doesn't mean that Jesus was like just a whole lot of God and a whole lot of man together, but Jesus was truly God and truly man. And so that's really the sort of background of that word very. So it's a little different in Hebrew when we have this word meod that sort of means the same thing as very, but it has to do with power, might, strength. And so a great place to see that in Hebrew scripture is to look back at Genesis chapter 1 and verse 31. And so up to this point in Genesis, God has created everything. And in verse 31, it says that when God looked at all that he had created, he saw that it was tov meod. Tov means good. Meod means very. So it was very good. But it was like mightily good, strongly good, powerfully good. So I think that's really beautiful to see that God looked upon all the creation, and that means upon humanity as well, and said that is powerfully, mightily good. Yes, and so when we look back at Deuteronomy and we see that it says to love the Lord your God with all your meod, with all your power, with all your might, with all your strength, I think that means with all of our efforts, with all of our exertions, just with everything that we do and with the best that we can do to love the Lord our God in that way. So yeah, that's what meod means. Well, join us again tomorrow as we learn yet another Hebrew word.